All right, so I want to talk about failed breakdowns real quick. I'm just going to show you, um, delete all these, and just show you what I'm talking about. So we're getting a price moves down, goes back up, and the price comes down again, and then it either comes here, goes like this, and then goes up. So we're looking at this low over here for it to come and retest and right and break back up, or it does this. So it goes up, comes down, retests, and goes up. And your entry would be here. And on this one, obviously your entry would be right here. Right, and then your low, your stop would come down here, something like that. Now, anybody can draw this stuff out, so let me show you on a real chart. But that's what I'm talking about when I'm mentioning failed breakdowns. And I've noticed that the failed breakdowns, they're doing it like almost every day. And I'm using the FLB zone here, right? So we're getting a reject. Here's your first, second break, and then goes, right? There it is right there. That's what I just drew down here. Like this, right? See that? Right here, like this. There's your support. Okay, so we're getting rejections off the FLBs at the same time. This is how we're identifying, okay, this is probably the failed breakdown and we want to trade this. And then you're looking at your edge pulse right here, and you're seeing that you're getting dots on the extremes. And then it's pushing up into the inside of the threshold while changing colors, right? So that's a really good influence. You're about to get the reversal. And when we add in our 45-minute zone or 30-minute zone, whatever your favorite is, if you look right here on the failed breakdown, we're actually tapping into a zone. So you could take this entry here, right, and you stop there, and then target up here. I'll show you how to find the zones in a minute, to get that really high risk reward trade. Now this is a 10, 9, 10, whatever. I haven't had one of them in a long time, but the safest bet is this one right here, taking the entry on this end cap here, because we're confirming when that happens that this is a failed breakdown and price is about to push back up, right? So we would get into the trade here, and then our stop would go on this end cap, or you could even use the end cap below you since it isn't fully mitigated yet. And then we're targeting our zone up here, but that's just going to be depending on how risk averse you are. So this is a really nice RR, and then this one is just your normal typical 2 RR. But let me show you, that's the failed breakdown that I was talking about in the Discord. And if you go through every day during US session, we're pretty much seeing this happening constantly over and over again. Sometimes we just get our full-on breakouts, but most of the time that's what's going on. And you don't even have to try to trade the whole thing the whole time. We can actually, we turn it on our Orbex and we can just scalp these, right? We can scalp this one to here, then we scalp the next one up to the same middle line on the Orbex, right? Giving us a solid take profit, solid entry risk and take profit right there. That isn't bad. Like there's nothing wrong with taking profits off the table instead of just going for the home run. So anyways, I want to show you how I'm getting my levels to help confluence this, like my manual stuff, not just the indicators. So I actually go into Renko in 1 second, and then I use a 1 box. So I'm going as small as I can. Basically, we can go a little smaller, but I think you can go below 1. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna. And I'm just drawing the highs and lows. So right here is that swing low right here that happened and it took off, right? So if we turn on, there you go, it's right there. See that? And it's bouncing off of the zone. And what was I saying earlier was drawing targets. So basically I draw the zone as big as the Renko block, and then I just put it above it, right? I kind of put it above it like that. And if you notice, look at this one come down and reject it and push up. And then I'll do the same thing for the lows down here. Like, you know what I mean? We'll start drawing our levels and things that make sense. Should we have them on a chart? Yeah, possibly. So I want the same size. You could just duplicate, clone this and put this one right here, and then clone it again, and then put this, because they're all the same size, and put this one right there. And if you notice, this right here is rejecting it right there and coming down. So these are decent levels to be playing with. This is probably too internal. I'll just remove that and play on these outside ones. So now you have a working zone, right? So and then I go back to my regular candles to execute. So these are 2 minutes. You can probably reduce down to 1 minute, whatever you're comfortable doing. But these failed breakdowns are happening constantly, consistently. So this one right here, you can, like, if you were to get in on this rejection here of the end cap, there's your target right there, and that's a 4.88, right? And that's a decent trade. And this is what I was talking about when I was mentioning the failed breakdown in Discord, and this is a very decent strategy that's working out at the moment, and I don't see any reason why not to use it. And just look for those failed breakdowns. And at the moment, there's no selling going on. We're just buying. And I mean, look at these right here. These are failed breakdowns. It didn't sweep this low, so I would only scalp this. But I mean, you have a clear, definitive entry and exit model. Like, that's a good entry, and then your exit can be the zone right here, right? Or even this up here. And there it goes. Even if you're holding price, even if you're holding, that is a very decent take profit, because we know that price gravitates towards these end caps. See, there it is right there. Boom. So you would have ended up catching almost 10 points of ES just on that little move right there. And you had all these other ones you could have scalped in and added in. So just showing you the failed breakdowns and what's a good way to catch those and how to even notice them. And it all boils down into rejections of these zones, the dynamic zones and the end caps. And we have the alerts, guys. So I'll just turn the alerts on. This one right here is the 350 algo set on session. And you can set alerts for this to go off. And then there's the 45 alerts, end cap alerts, or the zones. Anyways, if you need anything, let me know.